Shalom. First and foremost, I'm saying, call halal YAHAWAH by HaShem YAHAWASHI by HaShem HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well. And shalom to the hopeful elect. YAHAWAH by HaShem YAHAWASHI Barakatham. It's the brother Kazaf from Menabal 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. All right, and the title of this lesson is going to be Crept In Unawares. All right, I know I'm a little late concerning this subject, this topic. You know, and I'm gonna keep it real. I wasn't really, planning to do a lesson on this because, a lot of brothers already spoke on this, elder brothers at that, and a lot of points, have been made, as far as this subject goes. There's no edification in graffiti, and what you're really doing is you're going contrary, to the gospel in doing these things, because now you're painting this thing in a negative light. When you do those things, when you take part in illicit activities, now you giving this devil a reason to come down and demonize us, and if you can't see that, then either you blinded, you a demon, you're agent for Satan, or you're planted, by the devil, man. Which I believe, that's what that is, But anyways, I couldn't help but notice, and that's what compelled me, to do this lesson, because I was peeping their conversation. I was just looking at this clip, and I was listening to the conversation between these dudes while they were hitting up a train, right? And I was peeping their conversation, and this isn't, look, if you hear their conversation and you're out here in the West Coast, and I don't want to say like I used to be, in that lifestyle, but let's put it to you like this: if you're familiar with gang culture, then you'll understand that these people are not, these dudes are not, they don't got that graffiti culture in them. They got that gang spirit in them. They got that gang demon in them. All right, and I'm gonna show you. So let's let the clip play.
I got some white and green. You didn't buy no green in it, so you can make some Mexican looking stuff. Some baby blue.
Hold on.
For the SK. Yeah, we gotta hit our Northern Kingdom too, bro. Just for the south side. For the SK. And yeah, got some white and green.
So right off the bat, you hear, a couple of Northern Tribe knuckle dragging Israelites, talking about the south side. You had another one in Spanish say the sur, which is slang for the sureños, the south side, a Mexican street gang. I'd say they're a criminal organization. You got cartel ties. Stuff is no joke, man. We're gonna keep on playing up for it.
Buy no green in it, so you can make some Mexican looking stuff. Some baby blue to make it Guatemala, and you can hit like all the culture to related shit in there. That shit would be nice. Cause that's like the area of it. Huh? Hey, can I hear one of these?
Yeah, you see the dude in the back. He's probably above all of them. I'm not too sure. But he's chilling back there like he's the OG. Regulating. And you hear him, say very faintly, hopefully brothers caught that, he says that represents scrap. All right? Let's
say some scrap? Where you from, Messi? Right, where you from, Messi?
And he says that represents scrap. So let's go into the definition of scrap. And yeah, I got to pull up on Urban Dictionary, because this is where you get a lot of definitions, concerning slangs. So scraps, a disrespectful term that Norteños, which is a Issachar street gang that's mainly control the northern part of the Americas. I mean, the northern part of the United States. It's what they say to the Surs, which is what you just heard. That other brother, I wouldn't even gonna call him a brother, Salakia. That other dude, Issachar dude. That's what he said. In the background faintly, he said Sur. In the video. So he says that's what they say to the sureños. All right, so look, man, this isn't graffiti culture. This is gang culture, man. All right, This is that gang culture, and that's the spirit that these people are in. Okay? And they bear witness to that. All right? They're using those words in their vocabulary. You know, you got Alazar. He bore testimony to that himself when he said that, oh yeah, that's us. You know, talking about that sect of the Sakari. You know, in the ancient, I don't want to say the ancient time, but you know, YAHAWASHI, after, you know, when he was on the scene, and you know, and after he died, you know, during that time period, you know, they were out there fighting the Romans. You know, they were carnal dudes, they were cutthroats, they were grimy. You know, and he bore testimony to that, meaning that that's the spirit that these dudes are trying to creep into the truth, man. That gang demon, man. And let me tell you something about out here on the West Coast. That gang demon is very fucking heavy. All right, and this is very, and it vexes me, man. You know, a lot of brothers is vexed by it, man, because it's part of, like, bad enough we got to worry about the sword, we got to worry about this devil, man, and then now we have to worry about our own brother trying to kill us, you know, which is part of the curses, you know, that not shall be evil towards your brother, you know. But with this gang culture, this gang demon, it gets amplified, man. It gets amplified even more, you know, so we can't even trust our own. And guess what? Esau that's what Esau did. All right, because these gangs are planted, these gangs are infiltrated, these gangs are Masonic. If you look at a lot of the shit that they do, a lot of their symbolism, it's Masonic. Okay, it's Masonic. A lot of gang members are fucking Freemasons, man. All right. Why you think that, you know, they all up in the hip hop culture? Why do you think they do a lot of satanic rituals? You have this one ex gangbanger, you know, he came out on YouTube exposing all the rituals that they did. You know, because that gang culture is the left hand side of Israel, man. All right, it's the left hand side. It's witchcraft. All right, they selling drugs, they pimping women. You know, it's a lot of, it's a whole, how do I put it to you? It's a whole religion in itself, man. You know, in order to be successful in that lifestyle, you have to be tapped into that witchcraft, man. You have to. You know, and that's what these dudes are trying to. That's what these dudes are trying to creep into the truth, man. That gang spirit. All right, but let's stop with the rambling. All right, let's bring out, because I had that precept right there lined up, but let's bring out the book of Job, chapter 14. Let me see. The book of Job, chapter 14, verse 4. All right, and I don't know, man, it seemed like they was, you know, messing around with each other, like they was playing around with each other, but man, ain't no edification in that. And really, you know, like the scripture says, a man's tongue is what persecutes him, you know. And I'm not gonna give him no break. So the book of Job, chapter 14, verse 4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. All right. And that's the same thing with the hip hop, man. You know, that's the same thing with the hip hop, trying to, you know, bring the hip hop into the truth, man. Trying to make mixtapes and trying to make albums and sell albums in the truth. You're basically making merchandise of the word, man. You're making merchandise of the gospel. You know, it's not good. You know, it's not a good look at all. And this takes it a step further, man. That little stunt that they did, and guess what, man? Like, you know, just knowing, you know, what they did during the Passover. All right, what this group did during the Passover, you know, like I said in the previous video concerning, you know, this camp, man, they're just gonna wax worse and worse because they disrespected the Lord. You see, that's the thing too. You know, these guys thought that by, you know, apologizing and repenting to, you know, the brothers. Nah, man, it's the YAHAWASHI. All right, that's who you offended. You know, and in doing so, you offended us, but it ain't about us. All right, it's the Lord you offended with that stunt you pulled in the Passover, man. You know, because it's a very high holy day, and You what you do? You celebrated it by by being in a house of mirth, man. Being in a house of mirth, something that's very serious. You made you threw a party. But it's not to linger on that subject in itself, because that has already been addressed. But it's more so, to show that ever since then, this group is only going to wax worse and worse, man. And it's evident. All right, you can see it by what they're doing. You had one controversy last week, and here we go with another one, man. Controversy after controversy. I wouldn't be surprised that if in the next week coming in, you got more controversy. Just seeing this group wax worse and worse, man. Taking books away. Now you got their members tagging up walls. It's really the spirit.
No device connected. Say the line number.
Salakia. There we go. All right, and this really shows you the fear of YAHAWASHI. You gotta be thankful, that you're in the right side, even in Israel, man. All right, not as the Pharisees, who look at our own righteousness, and you know what I'm saying, who look at their own righteousness and boast themselves, above other men, but just in the sense that the Lord chose you, to be in the truth. But like I was saying, man, let's keep on going. So Job 14 verse 4. All right, I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna move on to the next precept. It reads, "Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one." All right, so you can't try to mix the streets and the truth, man. You can't try to mix hip hop and the truth. You don't know what King David was saying. That's another thing too. With all them dudes that talk about the hip hop and try to make mixtapes and shit. You don't know what type of music King David was singing, man. All you know is they put together instruments. They put together a band, so to speak, and King David was out there singing, but you don't know what type of music he was singing, man. That hip hop shit is new. Before the hip hop, you had the soul. You got different genres that Jake is into, man. You got reggae, and then you even got the band music that the Northern Tribe is into. So really, you don't know what type of music King David was making, man. To even try to justify that folly. All right. But like I said, man, with this little study, they take it a step further. All right. So the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 17. Okay, because when you come into this truth, man, you gotta take that. You gotta how do I put it to you, man? You gotta turn all that stuff off, man. You gotta put off your former self. Okay, so Ephesians 4 and 17. This I say therefore, and testify in YAHAWASHI, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind. Okay, so basically, we're not supposed to be out here walking as the other Gentiles, man. All right, whatever these jakes is out here doing in the world, we're not supposed to be doing that, man. Okay, we're not supposed to be doing that. All right, whatever wicked lifestyles that they're doing, we're not supposed to be doing that, man. Verse 18, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of YAHAWASHI through the ignorance that is in them. All right, and when you go into the word alienate, that means to be separated, man. All right, that means to be separated. All right, and it's not in a good sense, man. You're being separated from the Lord, because all these lifestyles are not conducive to salvation. All these wicked lifestyles, these Babylonian lifestyles, is not conducive to salvation, is not conducive to living a righteous lifestyle. All right, the Lord does not delight in these things, man. Okay, the Lord just doesn't delight in these things. All right, so you tagging up a train, you think the Lord's going to delight in that? You think the Lord's going to look at that and say, look at this brother right here, he's so zealous, look at his zeal, look at him, he's tagging up a train.
Right, you talk to this scrap right here, bro. He don't want to got slime.
Yeah, you see?
Look, he got it.
Man, hold on. Let me get a good image, man. You know, you think the Lord's gonna look down on this and say, hey, you know, command them brothers, bless them brothers. Look how zealous they are. They're tagging my name on a train. No, the Lord doesn't delight on this, man. And guess what? The Lord's just gonna further bug them out even more and more and more, man. They waxing worse and worse at this point. You know, at this point, you know, it's no different than a street gang. Some shit might pop off with them. I wouldn't be surprised. And guess what? Now Esau got a reason to lump us all in and say and demonize us, man. All right, say that we are a street gang now. Now the whole world's gonna think we're a street gang because of these bozos, man. All right, so it is being alienated from life of the Most High, from Yahawah, through the ignorance that is in them. All right, and it's through ignorance that they are doing this. Okay, it's through ignorance, because if you was in the scriptures, you know, and you would understand. You already know the instruction of what not to be. All right, let's keep on reading. Because of the blindness of their heart. You know, and that takes it further too. You know, if you really want to get into it, man, hey, the elect, you know, only the elect is going to receive this knowledge in its entirety. All right, you might have dudes that receive a portion of this truth, and that's all they're going to bring out. You know, the only thing they're going to know is that they're an Israelite, but they're going to go out there and teach the flat earth. You know, they're going to go out there, teach a different name. They're going to go out there and teach that. You know, and how do I put it to you? You know, and not teach the real names. You know, stick to JC and God and Jesus, and you know what I'm saying. You know, they're gonna go out there and say that, you know, that the MOB is you know, not the chip. You know, that's what they're gonna do. All right, because they've been blinded. All right. They've been blinded. So really, man, that's the thing. You gotta be grateful you're in 100% truth, and YAHAWASHI didn't blind you, that he had mercy upon you. Okay, and that's to us brothers in this knowledge, you know, in this knowledge, man. All right, who being past feelings, so like who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness and with greediness. You see. Yeah, I'm on Alameda for sure. All right. So that's just what it is, man. All right. They've given themselves over unto lasciviousness, man. And if you go to the word lasciviousness, let's get into it real quick. You know, I'm not trying to make this lesson super long. All right. So let's go into it. Unbridled lust, excess, licentiousness, lasciviousness, wantonness, outrageousness, shamelessness, insolence. All right, that's the spirit that's on them, man. All right, because that's shameless, man. How you gonna put on your Instagram? You in the truth, man. People is looking at you as an example of what to be. You know, people is looking at you as an example of what to be. You're basically a priest. You know, if you're going out there to the highways and hedges, you're teaching. You know, you're basically a priest. How are you gonna go and tag up a train and promote that spirit, man? How are you gonna go do that? Now you're gonna have fellas that's gonna think it's cool to do that, man. You know, you're gonna promote that behavior. You're gonna get your flock in trouble, man. You know, not just with Esau, but also with the Lord, man. You know. But that's just the scripture, man. The blind lead the blind, and they fall into a ditch. You know, these guys are gonna lead you into a ditch. You know, and this, hey, man, whoever, you know, is in Sakari, man, take heed, bro. Get out while you still can. That's the spirit, 144. Yo, man, you in Sakari, you listening to this, man. You better take heed and get out of there while you still can, man. Whoever receives this, and you in Sakari, yo, get out of there while you still can, man. Because they ain't looking too good. After that little stunt in the Passover, man, the Lord is bunging them out. They waxing worse and worse and worse, man. All right. They went from taking books out of the Bible. Now they tagging on trains. should I say, hitting up trains. You know, hey, they turning into a whole street gang now, man. You better get out of there while you can. All right, so it reads, to work all uncleanness with greediness, but ye have not so learned Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. If so, still like it. Yeah, there it is. If so, ye have heard him. All right, so like in verse 20, but ye have not so learned Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. All right, because if you learn about YAHAWASHI, you would understand that this not what you're supposed to be doing, man. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. This isn't the Lord. You know that the Lord would not delight in this type of behavior. You know that this wouldn't fly. Okay, so it reads, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man. All right, and that's talking about what you used to be in the world. So you're gonna have brothers come in from all walks of life, man. Some brothers might be in the street shave. Some brothers might come in, they used to be ex-gang members, but guess what? You take those garments off. They took off their former, they put off the old conversation, the former conversation, which if you go into that word, all right, it's really talking about the lifestyle, their conduct. All right, hey, some brothers may have been in gangs, all right, but when they came to the truth, they cleaned up their act. They took that off. They denounced that. And what does the scripture say? All right, having been taught, so like that ye put off the former, so like that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts. Okay, so that's talking about, you know, being you know, basically cleaning up your act, man. All right, taking off those garments, so to speak, and putting on the new garments, which is this knowledge. Okay, and with this knowledge comes the walk. You got to walk the walk, man. And tagging up trains, and you know what I'm saying, and just joking, you know, because they sound like they was joking around, but really, man, that's you know what I'm saying. This, look, man, it's the spirit behind all that, man. All right, it's the spirit behind all that. All right, but before I get, you know, that one precept, you know, if the spirit beyond me to get that, let me just finish up with this. Okay, and it reads, as the truth, Salakia, I am on the road, so, all right, so it reads, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. You see, meaning you have to get a new mind in this thing. All right, you have to basically let go of everything you were when you were in the world. Okay, you have to let go of that. You have to start afresh, so to speak. All right, verse 24, and that ye put on the new man, which after Yahweh is created righteousness and true holiness. You see, you got to put on the new man, which means that when you come into the street, you got to do a complete 180. All right, all the wicked things that you were partaking in, you got to let them go. You got to denounce them, take no part in them. You know, you got to cut people off. Hey, that's what you got to do, man. You know, I first came to this truth. It was people I used to be tight with that I had to cut them off because, you know, being with them is not conducive to a righteous lifestyle. You know, hanging around with them is not conducive to a righteous lifestyle. You know, all they was doing is smoking weed. You know, trying to see, you know what I'm saying, what girl they gonna get in. They didn't even care if she had a boyfriend or not. You know, she had a man or not. You know, trying to get famous off the hip hop thing. It's not conducive, man. And that's basically what, you know, what the type of people I had to cut off. You know, that's me giving my testimony. I had to cut them off completely. Go missing on their ass, so to speak. All right, and let me see. Let's continue on reading. All right, verse 24, I'm going to read it again. And that ye put on the new man, which after Yahweh is created in righteousness and true holiness. All right, now you go into the word holiness, you know, it means to be in a state of separateness. All right, and this is separate, and this is the right type of separateness, man. All right, this is the right type of being separate. because we're not being separated from the Lord. We're being separated for the Lord. You understand? We're being separated for the Lord. So all these dudes out here, they want to make hip-hop albums. You know, they want to tag up trains, whatever. They're not being separated for the Lord. They're being separated from the Lord, man. Okay? They're being separated from Yahawah Shem YAHAWASHI. Because the Lord does not delight in that, man. What is the point in tagging up a train? Or should I say hitting up a train? You know, but that's because they're not really about the Lord. All right, they about themselves, man. They about their own filthy lucre's sake, man. All right, I wouldn't be surprised if something happened, you know, and Sakari end up turning into a street gang, man. You know, if Sakari just, you know, spirals down into a street gang, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, man. You know, but all that is set up anyways, man. All right, all that is set up anyways. All right, so let's continue on reading. All right, wherefore, Salakia. Let me see, unless that's it on that. Yeah. All right, so that's basically it on that. There's another precept I wanted to bring out. Let's get this out of there. All right, we're going to go to the book of Galatians, chapter, there we go. All right, so the book of Galatians, chapter 2, verse 4. Okay, because these dudes are, you know, they agents either way, man. Whether they agents for Satan or agents for Esau, you know, I'd say they're agents for Esau. You know, straight, sold out, planted, you know, to come in this thing, get themselves a following, you know, and just start promoting this for how do I put it to you, you know, to put this truth in a negative light, to try to corrupt the truth. You know, they could be part of that Cointel Pro, man. You don't know. Every time Jake came together, you know, Esau was there with that Cointel Pro, you know, to scatter what they were doing. You know, the only thing is they can't do that with this because this is of Yahawah Shem YAHAWASHI. All right, and that's the only difference between us and them. All right, that's the difference, not the only difference, but that's a big difference, you know, between these other groups, you know, because Jake tried to come up with the Black Panthers, you know, Jake tried to come up with the Brown Berets, you know, different groups that Jake tried to come up. You also had the Latin Kings, all right, and now the Latin Kings is a very good example of Cointel Pro, all right, because the Latin Kings it first started as a group, you know, to fight oppression, you know, fight people that, you know, protect Hispanic properties. They started, you know, and they were all about empowering, you know, the Hispanic people, you know. But then you had this one guy come in, I forgot his name. He came in and he corrupted it, turned it into a whole street gang, man. That's that Cointel Pro, man. That's that Cointel Pro at its works. All right, and they trying to do the same thing with this. All right, so that's Alizar dude. He might be a Cointel Pro agent, man. Okay, so let me just read the precept. Book of Galatians chapter 2 and 4, and that because of false brethrens brought unawares brought in, who came privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. All right, because knowing this truth sets us free, man. All right, knowing this truth sets us free. Okay, we're released from bondage, knowing this truth, because we understand everything that's going on now. You know, we have a comforter. You know, we know who we are. We know who our power is, and that he's for us, he's with us. You know, this is freedom. You know, even though we still in captivity, we're spiritually free. All right? But let's continue on reading, that they might bring us into bondage. Okay? And that's what they trying to do, man. All right, if they agents for Esau, you know, either way they agents for Satan. You know, but that's what they trying to do, man. They trying to bring us into bondage, paint this truth in a negative light and give Esau the excuse to give us search warrants, man. You know, to have us register in some type of gang program, man. Because that's what they did to all the people that, you know, Esau would, you know, suspect of them of being in gang members. You know, he'd have them register into some gang program, man. You know, I forgot the actual name of it. You know, I was never in that lifestyle. You know, but I met a lot of people, man. You know, growing up, been around, you know, a lot of schools, you know, different crowds. You know, and I'm familiar to what they do. That's why I couldn't help but make this lesson, man. You know, that's the spirit that these guys are coming in. You know, the gang culture. They might turn into a whole street gang out here. You know, and give Esau the justification, so for lack of a better term, the reason, you know, to demonize us, you know, to lock us up, you know. That's what this devil wants, man. He's just looking for that one little excuse, and these fellas gave it to him, man. You know, and they gonna really give it to him if they keep waxing worse and worse like this. All right, but it all comes with the territory. You know, it all comes with the territory, man. All right, it comes with the territory. It's part of the walk, man. It's something we're gonna have to endure too. You know. So let me see if I can bring out that other preset and close out. Your own tongue. Let me see. It's a word. Tongue. Condemn. Ooh. KJV. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, that's that. No. If I can't find it, then, you know, it is what it is, man. But I'm sure brothers know the precept, man. A man is condemned by his words. Let me see if it's that one. Yeah, there we go. All right. I could use this one, you know, the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 37. You know what? I'm going to bring it out over here. All right, so the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 37. And it reads, "For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." Okay? And that's an example of what took place here, man. All right? Because, yeah, you know, they actions, you know, they tagging up a train, you know. And brothers, you know what I'm saying, they're talking about the graffiti culture, which they're right on that, you know. It's not, graffiti is not conducive to this truth, man. There's no edification in that. All right? And in the contrary, you know, you're making it seem like this is some type of, you know, so, you know, it's a word for it, man, but, you know, it's just something that you're not supposed to be, man. You know, something you're not supposed to be. But what these guys are coming into, you know, what these guys are bringing in is not the graffiti culture, man. That's that gang culture, and they were just condemned by their own words, man. You know, by what they were saying, you know, calling each other scraps. You know, one of them, you know, talking about South Side, another one in the background, you know, talking about Sur. You know, they're condemned by their own words, man. You know, and even though it seemed like they was playing around, this thing is no light matter, man. How you gonna be tagging up a train and talking about scrap and Sur and South Side? This is textbook Cointel Pro shit, man. You know, trying to pervert the gospel. All right, but it's all good, man. They're marked now. So with that, I'm gonna say, call HALAL YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI HASHEM RAKA HaKodash. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. All right, Lord willing, it was edifying to the Akim out there, man. Just see what these dudes, they're really bringing in that gang culture, man. Trying to pervert the gospel. It might be in Cointel Pro, who knows, man. But ain't nothing that's against the truth before the truth, man. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next.